Sync clap 1, camera at 1, sync clap 2, camera at 2.
Sam, do you want to keep the minutes or shall I?
I think you should. You normally do. I'm a bit concerned about these props. Like, are we going to get a cup of tea or a
do you want tea or coffee?
Tea would be good, please.
I'll get my... Can Sam have a tea, please? Thanks very much. Cheers. Sam, semi-final week of the World Cup. Just how thrilled is the team and how pumped is everyone to be here?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird feeling actually at the moment. Tournament's kind of been a little bit different for us. We kind of got here a couple of days early, had a kind of real big training focus, which was great. The trainers obviously had a bit of fun with us and flogged us a bit, and then we kind of went into a full-on bit, a few games pretty quickly, not a lot of time to train or anything like that, and then obviously the game was cancelled, so it's kind of been different, but the guys are so excited about this one. Everyone knows that what's on the line, and the guys that have been at World Cups before understand the pressure that's going to be there, and the guys that this is their first one, they're excited about seeing what's around the corner.
How do you balance up, I guess, coming down from the heights of a pretty solid performance in the quarterfinal versus building for what you've got to do it all again?
Yeah, these knockout tournaments are special because you've got to show up and be ready to go. I think for us as players, it's probably easier compared to, say, fans or even our management because they don't get to do anything physically. For us as players, it's easy to come back down because you've got to do your recovery and your body's normally pretty sore. So that's one way to normally just naturally come down and then build throughout the week to get to that big, that big game, that kick off, and then you're obviously into it again.
Semi-final's one thing, but I guess facing England, does that add anything for you guys?
I've been lucky enough to play against England a couple of times, and they're never easy, the games. They're never games that you run away with, or you never walk off the field going, I'm not actually too sore or anything like that. So it's a massive game anyway, but then you add in knockout stages, World Cup. So yes, it is big. It's a pretty cool place to be. The team's excited by that. There's pressure there. The boys are embracing that pressure at the moment, which is really good. The old cliche of you don't want to play the game before you have to play it. Today at training it was a little bit wet and cold. It's something that we just had to deal with and get on with, and I'm sure if we have to play in the wet, we'll deal with that. But I think it was really good. Just the boys mentally really have to fight to stay on task and not get worried about anything else that was hanging around.
You've played in a few big matches before in your young years.
Are you calling me older now? Or?
Young, early 30s.
Younger,
early 30s, like all of us, early 30s.
Yeah.
What are the keys to a match like this, which is such fine margins?
It kind of comes down to the week's preparation, making sure that you're in a good space mentally, physically, and then obviously doing your homework, knowing all the little 1%ers of the detail of the moves or line-outs or back strikes or whatever it is. So then hopefully when you get out there, those 1%ers will make a big difference. There's never a special play that changes the whole game. It's a whole lot of little things that are built up that obviously hopefully get you the result you want.
Does it feel any different to, say, 4 years ago? Obviously a lot changes in that, but the fact that then you had such senior guys and like Richie, Dan, Conrad, that Centurions club. Yes
and no, like we were talking about this other day, Sonny, Kieran and I, around the difference between 11 to 15 to this one. If it's your first one, you're not expected to take the leadership role. For myself in 11, I just had to worry about myself, didn't worry about any of the team stuff. Other people dealt with all that, and then obviously it changed, or keeps changing. So now, still got to worry about myself, but also got to worry about some of the team stuff. But the awesome thing is we've got so many guys that are experienced players, whether it's playing, at home, provincially, Super Rugby, or internationally. We've got so many captains of different teams that you can bounce ideas off those guys, and they've normally got a really good understanding themselves. So even though There's a couple of guys that'll take the lead. There's so many other guys that do things that the rest of the world don't see. Obviously behind closed doors, people will lead different areas, and it just allows Rito to go out there and play well, and hopefully by him doing that, he'll lead well.
As a player, just sum up for us the mindset going into the semi.
As a player, you can do things. You can actually go out there and tackle and get off the ground and do all those things. It wasn't until I come off in the final or in those games that you actually go, I can't actually do anything now. Now you're a total spectator, and I think that's the cool thing as a player. We get to have a direct influence on the game, hopefully positively. Obviously at times it might not be that way, but I think that's the difference between being a player. You actually get an opportunity to put your own spin on the game, potentially have a bit of control on it.
Sam, all the best for the weekend. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks for having me in.
And lastly, we would just like to make you chairman of our Back Black board. So far,
I'm going to have to decline because cup of tea.
I don't know what is taking them so long. Sorry, mate. I'll get on.
Is it because you keep looking at no one when you order the cup of tea? Or?
Cut there.
No. Hey,
Thanks,
keep
guys.
it rolling, please.
Cheers. Thanks, everyone.
James.